call the meeting to order, please?
Yep. So I'm calling to order the meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners. We're going to start off with the Woodbridge Traffic Authority. The time is 6:08 p.m. We have a quorum. We have Commissioners Desir, Freed, and Falsigno here. Public comments in Traffic Authority.
There are none.
None here? Okay. Traffic matters. Landon Street traffic.
Yeah, the first thing, the Landon Street traffic, just to update you on that, the traffic calming efforts have been completed. On June 1st, the Public Works installed or oversaw the installation of the 2 speed humps and the 1 speed table. The speed humps at either end of Landon Street and the speed table in the middle. They're all paved, they're in place. The signage, the postings are up. The only thing they're waiting on is the actual marking on the pavement. But it's all in place, and Warren, Public Works Director, assured me that that would be done expeditiously. So just waiting on the company to take care of it. But he said it's just less than an hour job to paint. So.
Hazel Terrace.
Hazel Terrace, I actually went up there today to check, to see if the signs were up yet, and they were posting them today. They completed it around 2 o'clock this afternoon. So all the signs are in place. And actually after that, Mrs. Antonucci called up and expressed her thanks to Janice and the Chief's office and the board for their efforts in there, and hopefully that'll alleviate the problem there. So they're pleased with that. So that's all in place, and we'll let patrol know so that they could make sure that people are adhering to the signs. It's done.
DOT project.
The DOT project. This is a project that I guess came before the Traffic Authority back in February of 2015 by Chief Marcucci and Deputy Chief Stewart. And that was DOT fully funded project where they were going to install centerline rumble strips on certain roads in certain local towns, free of charge. They were going to do the whole thing. So at that time, the Traffic Authority gave permission for 5 different streets to have it done. It was Baldwin Road, Beecher Road, Johnson Road, Newton Road, and Peck Hill Road. And what it is they, just in the center line, it's kind of like on the highway or the parkway, you might be familiar with them on the shoulders. Well, this is just on the center line, and if someone deviates from towards the center, their tires will hit it and it'll, get their attention and give them time to recover. So it's a safety measure. So the bottom line of what today's request is, the state has come back to the town. Last year they approved 3 of the roads to be done, 3 of the 5 to be done during the 2016 state construction season, which would be soon.
Which 3?
The 3 that they had approved were Baldwin Road, Newton Road, and Peck Hill Road last year to be done this year. And now the state has come back and they said now they've agreed to do the other 2 between this year and next year. And the other 2 would be Beecher Road from Rimmon to Center.
So you don't need a motion for that, it's already done. Or do we need-
Yeah, it's already done, just to call it to your attention. And then actually the Board of Selectmen, the first selectman just has to sign off that she's okay, but with your approval to do the other 2 that you already gave approval for.
So go ahead and make the motion.
How was the mini demonstrated for that?
That's just probably because those are some kind of primary roads in town, and they offered it, so it can't hurt. It's just a
If I remember,
proactive.
we deemed certain roads as a commission, if I remember correctly. We deemed a group of them. Actually, the assistant
more
chief-
accidents or
right.
something?
It's the state's project.
Right, but I think the assistant chief suggested certain roads. I think the state went by his submission.
Where I'm sure
of the
you
roads.
probably had to gather certain facts and criteria. I
Then they did it.
I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I'm sure there was some criteria that you had
Right.
to submit.
It had to
So
meet
based
some
on it, they
criteria.
approved them.
So,
So, you want to make a motion?
So
get a motion for that?
Recommend.
Recommend to the
So
Board
we'll
of
make
Selectmen, or?
we'll make a motion as a Woodbridge Traffic Authority to approve the two more streets for the center lane rumble strips.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Unanimous.
Yep, thank you.
And the next item under traffic matters is the Beat the Heat road race, or road closure request. So Saturday, June 18th, Jeff Block, who is the coordinator of One Innocent Life, it's a fundraising organization in memory of his daughter, Ava Block, who was killed several years ago in a tragic fire while she was away at college. So it's his goal is to raise awareness and initiative to fire prevention and smoke detectors. So the event that he's planning, and he's pretty much has it all in place, is for Saturday the 18th. It's a road race. It's a 5K road race and walk, and it'll be the same route that the Woodbridge Road Race follows, from the high school up north on Newton Road, across Burn Swamp, south on Amity to North Pease, and then up center and back to the high school.
Do you know what time that is?
I believe it kicks off at approximately, he said, between 8:30 and 8:45.
In the morning.
Yes, it's in the morning. He's already
A couple
won.
hours, right? Maybe a few hours.
Yeah, but what he did was he got permission from the Board of Selectmen to utilize the town green, and he's going to have a live music there, a band from approximately 9 to 1. And they have permission to park all the cars at the high school, and then have this event at the town center by the green and the gazebo. And he's going to have 3 to 5 food trucks possibly, and some vendors. So that's all been approved by the Board of Selectmen, and that's all in place. We just need a motion to close Meeting House Lane during that time. So I guess it's all been prearranged with Public Works to put up the signage, and we'll have an officer there also. And the event's pretty much 8:30 to 1, say, so we were thinking of proposing closing the road from 7 to 3, possibly shorter than that. That way you give them time to set up and clean up.
So you need a motion for that,
pedestrian traffic.
right? Okay.
So we just need a motion for that.
Close the road, 73. Like second it.
Did you make a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, Debbie made a motion. Seconded. All in favor?
Thank you.
With no further items on the agenda.
We have 2 items to add.
Okay.
2 more items came in since the agenda went out.
Yeah.
The item number 1 was a request by the state DOT in conjunction with the project on at 69th and Haven Line by exit 59.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they're doing some preliminary fixes. They're doing some work on the New Haven side, on Pomeroy Avenue, to try to ease the congestion before they get started. And the state DOT has requested of the Board of Selectmen that they expand their town ordinance. We have the do not block the box ordinance for Route 69 in Lucy, and DOT suggests that we also include the next intersection, 69 in Merritt, to alleviate the congestion there and to help them. And from what I understand, that they'll take care of the markings, or helping us with the markings and the signage for that. So in order to make the amendment of the ordinance, which will be done by the Board of Selectmen, we just need the approval of the traffic authority that you're in concurrence with that, and then we'll recommend to the Board of Selectmen that they go forward with the state's request.
They're gonna put a don't block the box and some markings on the road
Yes.
at Landon?
No, at
Merritt.
Merritt, so it's the one south of,
Okay,
Closest to the highway.
yeah, before Starbucks and...
okay.
And before we go any further, we just need the motion to actually add the 2 items to the agenda. So the 2 items we're requesting to add is the do not block the box expansion, and a request for a bike run for Casey's Victory Crusade. So if I could have a motion just to add those 2, and then we'll continue the discussion items to the agenda.
Second.
Thank you both.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now back to the do not block the box.
Okay, so we're going to, I'll make a motion to expand to Merritt Avenue the block the box policy that the town already has in place at Landon.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you.
And the second topic that we added was a motorcycle benefit fundraiser run. It's for, like Janice said, Casey's Victory Crusade. It's for Casey Ridgway, who was 11 years old when she was diagnosed with cancer and passed. So as this fundraiser, they do this annual motorcycle ride. So it'll be Saturday, July 30th in the morning, and it'll pass through on 67 up to 63 in Bethany and go through the other towns and return down on southbound on the Amity Road.
I make a motion to allow the bike ride to go forward through our town as the,
It's annual, have they done this before?
they did this last year too.
Yes, yep, so this is the annual. Since 2011, actually.
So they closed Route 67?
No, they don't close anything,
No.
they have to get a special application from the state DOT, so the state signs off on it, but they just have to have the traffic authority's approval
Oh.
to say that they're gonna come through. We don't really,
Yeah.
we might help with traffic at one of the intersections, but other than that, it's no real
Okay.
impact.
And it's actually on Saturday, July 30th.
And there's really no impact or
Yeah.
disruption in the town.
So do we have a second for his motion? Yes, thank you.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Is that it for the,
That is it.
so that concludes the traffic authority. Do you have a motion to adjourn? Seconded? All in favor? So now I would like to commence the Board of Police Commissioners at, whatever time.
6:18?
6:18, so.
That's good.
Approval of minutes from May 3rd, 14th, and 19th of the special meetings.
I move that we approve the minutes of May 3rd, 14th, and 19th.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Public comments? Not seeing anyone, or are there public comments from any of our visitors? No? Okay, you guys are just here to say hello. Good. So in view that there are no public comments, we'll move on to the review of reports. Financial report, Chief.
Under the financial report, as you're sure you're aware, we're starting off the last month of the fiscal year. Per Mr. Genovese, the finance director, everything appears to be in order with our current budget. We're at the point we're at now. And at his direction, we'll be closing out all open purchase orders that we have for this fiscal year. And it looks like we'll be finishing out, happy to say we'll be finishing out the fiscal budget within, fiscal year within budget. And even the overtime line appears to be on target with what the deputy chief had projected prior to that 140,000 mark. He's pretty close to that. There's like 1.5 more payrolls to go in this fiscal year, so pretty much we're all on target with the financial.
So something I would like you to address, guess what it is?
Yeah, the overtime.
Right. So, you know, just to go on notice that, you know, we budgeted for 90,000, it's at 134. I know that there's been efforts made to curb that. So just realizing that that is a, you know, excluding police officers, that is probably the largest line item in the budget. So,
So we're going to do our best to.
right.
You have a motion to approve financial report? I have a question about, right, as Steve notices, you know, this happens, spending more on overtime. We're spending nearly $200,000 less, I guess, on salaries for police officers. That's because we're down some officers. So that's why we're having more overtime, because it looks like actually we're, you know, 40,000 over our original budget for the overtime, but we're down 200,000 for the line item police officers, which I take it as salaries. Am I understanding
That's
that
where it
right?
goes out.
So that's just interesting that, yeah, I get the point that we've got more in overtime, but we're really down on salaries, so,
Well, one offsets the other.
yeah.
But there's got to be a balance, because at some point you're going to be at full strength, which means, and remember, salaries are a fixed expense. And the only thing really affects is the overtime, or benefits. But I understand it's a necessary evil. I know that, there's times where someone takes a call at, late in the day, and they have to do the reports, and I certainly understand that it's there. And I don't really, as I said, I think in the past, I think there's maybe other things that we can maybe think about.
Right.
So,
Joyce, why is the college incentive so much budget?
I'm sorry, couldn't hear you.
College incentives, why is that so much budget?
We haven't finished the year yet. We haven't finished the year. Plus, we had people leave, so they're not being paid out. That's why it's over for now.
It's under.
Under, yes.
Public Works. I'm sorry.
No, we're
Anything
good,
else
I'm
on the,
good. I moved to approve the budget.
Did you want to do the activity report?
Good, just do them separately.
Okay, so we
Second.
make a motion,
Thank you.
second, and all in favor? Next, the activity report.
Yeah, school resource officer report. In reviewing that, as usual, and consistent, RJ, Officer Scott has been consistently busy, especially with the upcoming school year. Quickly approaching. Graduation is next week, it's the June 15th at 4 p.m. We'll have ample coverage and for security and for traffic details. There were two drug arrests at the high school during this last month. And once again this year, our thanks to SRO R.J. Scott for an exemplary job at the high school. Tough job to balance between the kids and the parents and administration. Another year coming to a close. Thank you for that.
So we have a motion. Did you have anything else? I'm sorry.
No, for the SRO, no, that's
Is
all.
that, okay. Anything else on activity?
For the investigative services report. Let's see. On May 22nd, about 4 in the morning, we had a burglary down on one of the businesses on Lucy Street. Front door glass was broken, the cash register was seized. Guys came out and processed it. They're working with some of the area departments on a possible suspect. They have some forensic evidence that actually they just applied for a search warrant for suspect's DNA to compare to what was sent up to the lab. On the 23rd, we had during the early morning hours, we had a suspicious fire of a large boat parked in someone's yard, and the investigators are working with some of the area departments on that. There was a couple of other similar incidents and some criminal activity involving some other parties that the owner of this boat was affiliated with. So they're working to see if those are all related. The 31st, there was an arrest of an employee at one of the assisted living facilities who was caught on video surveillance stealing from one of the elderly residents' pocketbooks. We've had some thefts of landscape equipment from some landscape trailers. And that's about it. As far as the
Any questions?
Sure.
Any questions for the, on the activity? Do I have a motion to accept the activity report?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Report of Chief of Police.
I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank the board for this wonderful swearing-in ceremony. It was much more than was expected, and it was truly an honor by the ceremony, by the attendance, and by the support. Just want to let you know that the Deputy Chief not here tonight because he's actually on vacation from the 3rd until the 12th. So I'm flying solo with the assistance of the lieutenant. And just to bring it to your attention also, sadly, to let you know that Sergeant Ed Thomas's mother passed away over the weekend. So just so you're aware of that.
Please send the commission's condolences.
Thank you.
As far as my report, obviously I'm in the transition period and I'm getting right into the fire here. And one of my first things that I'm trying to get done is try to reassign a lot of my duties so I could transition across the hall and take on those tasks. So for the time being, temporarily, I've assigned Sergeant Thomas to temporarily oversee supervision of the Investigative Services Unit. So he's on call like I was with the vehicle. And that's in addition to his patrol supervision responsibilities and his IT, all his IT responsibilities. And then, because right now we only have 2 sergeants in place, the other sergeant, Sergeant A.J. Capiello, I've assigned him to be the court liaison to the protective orders and family violence alerts, so we keep all that stuff current on a daily basis. And that's in addition to his patrol supervisory duties and his oversight of property and evidence room duties. So that's where we are with the transition. As we've discussed previously, I'm in the process of reviewing the general orders. It's been a work in progress, and some of them still need to be updated from where they were. And actually, the lieutenant and I were talking about one of them just the other day that we're looking into. So that's a work in progress. We're working on that. And as have been mentioned prior, at one point we might seek some legal advice just on some of the orders to make sure they're exactly right, especially the use of force orders, to make sure that everything's in compliance.
Are there guidelines from other departments that are helpful, things like use of
There
force?
are, and we were actually, these were somewhat derived from
Yeah.
an amount
Okay.
from another accredited agency too.
Great.
So we're working with
One thought that I had was, and I was thinking about this just the other day, as I was reading the minutes. I know, you're just getting your feet wet and things are, everything's new and it's going to be, there's a transition period. But maybe by the next commission meeting, you might have an idea or a target date to finish the general orders, which seem to be something that's been not up to date for quite a few years. We as a commission, I know, and I think I can speak for the other commissioners, feel that the general orders are something that are paramount in what needs to be done. And that's probably I would like to see that as one of your first things done, your to-do list. Just at least get a date. I mean, nothing carved in stone, but a good idea, a target date. So we have an idea when they're going to be finished, and everybody in the department can have a firm feel for, what the orders are. And it'll also give everybody, I think, an idea on your methodology as far as how you're going to run the department. Because I'm sure that I know that there's very, very specific general orders that you'll probably derive from other towns, but a little bit of it has got to be, I would think, a little bit of your personal likes and dislikes. So I think that that's something that'll at least give everybody a real idea about how you're going to drive the department forward.
Very good, we'll do it. And the next item on my report was regarding the capital budget and the purchase of a new administrative vehicle. With the funds that have been approved and allocated in the current capital budget, we talked to the finance director, he's good, he's okay with the purchase. The funds have already been allocated in this budget to be used, but we just need the approval of the board here just to go forward with the Board of Selectmen at their next meeting to get it all in place by the end of the fiscal year that's coming to a close. And one thing that Tony did ask was that in your motion that we include the option to also go with the state bid in Massachusetts price. The outfitter that we use for our vehicles is MHQ. They're located in Middletown. Their branch is here, but their home office is in Massachusetts. So they have a large quantity of vehicles at competitive prices as the Connecticut state bid, but they have more vehicles in, but because it's on the Massachusetts state bid, we have to get involved with that. But Tony thought that might be a good option to look into to see if the prices are competitive or not. If they are, take advantage of
I
that.
remember we always got 3 bids, right? So it was 3 bids? on
We
this
do,
one?
unless it was,
Two or three bids?
they always honor the state bid though. But if we didn't go by the state bid, we would get 3 bids, am I correct?
Right.
Yeah, but mostly they went by the state.
State bids,
Yeah.
right? So we've already approved previously.
Yeah, it's all
the amount,
approved.
Yeah, so,
But in other words, what you're going to do now is you're going to pass the motion to authorize them to go before the Board of Selectmen
To spend the
to
money.
request that they spend the money. And to go through the Massachusetts bid.
right.
Or as an option, to look into the Massachusetts,
Yeah.
if that price is better, then to use that, but if not.
So I'll make a motion to extend to the chief the ability to spend the money that we've already approved for the vehicle purchases and to also go out of state to the state map of Massachusetts to consider their pricing structure along with any other bids that we get. All in favor?
A motion to approve the report of the chief of police.
So moved.
All in favor? Personal matters, chief?
In the personnel matters, the first topic is certified officer candidate hiring. Officer Michael Luzzy is here, present tonight in front of us. My recommendation is that Officer Luzzy of the Orange Police Department be laterally hired, as we discussed in last month's meeting, and was tabled till we have the new chief in place. We're currently down 4 officers, and we urgently need to start filling those, get our manpower up to full strength. He comes to us thoroughly vetted, highly recommended. He's experienced. He has invaluable experiences and training that he received when he was assigned to statewide narcotics task force. His supervisors and that I spoke to highly recommended him. And I assure you that he's passed all aspects of the background process, and he's had a conditional offer on the table for the last almost 2 months now. He's been hanging on, waiting for the decision. I think he'll be a big asset to the department. He brings us experience. He has a future. He's young. That he has a lot of growth potential for our department, and he could bring a lot to the younger guys that he'll be working with. So my recommendation is that we hire Officer Luzzy tonight as a lateral, and we do it in the same manner as we had done in the past with the officer we just hired a couple months ago. And that was, we hired him as a lateral hire at grade B, officer salary. He'll come in with 5 days vacation, and then at the start of the new fiscal year in July, he'll get they always get their 3 personal days in the birthday. So that's what we've done in the past.
Is that your recommendation?
That's my recommendation.
Any discussion, any questions? Are you?
I'm satisfied. I've reviewed things and the psychological testing report and stuff like that, and I'm good with it.
Doctor, just here? I'll make a motion to extend the firm offer on the request of the chief and on the advice of the chief to now Officer Luzzy from the Woodbridge Police Department.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome, congratulations.
Thank you.
We need a second. Thank you. And a
All in
vote.
favor?
Congratulations, Mike.
When is the start date going to be?
Well, the new bid starts...
You're still working at Orange, am I right? So I would think, I mean, just my...
As soon as possible.
I'm gonna go in tomorrow and talk to them, and they know it's,
Yeah,
Right, we spoke to them also.
their loss, our gain.
Well, you want to give them a reasonable amount of notice so that they can readjust their department, I would think, right?
yes.
I mean,
Yeah, it's about, I talked to them, and they were happy with about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
great.
If they already
So
have
two-
everything planned.
You
2
comfortable
weeks.
with that?
Sounds good.
So what kind of start date do you want? Just so so we have an idea.
2 weeks from tonight.
Well, why don't you finish your, however your weekends in Orange, right? When does our week start here?
Well, you can, actually, you can call us tomorrow. So
Okay.
speak with your chief there and figure out the date, and then just call us and let us know the mutual.
So you don't want to start in the middle of the pay week, right? You want to start at the beginning of the pay week?
Yeah, that'd probably be best for us, right?
Right.
Yeah, just call me tomorrow, and we'll
Okay.
go over it.
Will do, thank you.
Congratulations.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
And the next item under personnel is a promotion of new sergeants. We currently have 3 sergeant vacancies that we desperately need to fill, and especially with I make the 3rd sergeant vacancy now. So we need them to allow me to transition and also for the department to move forward. So with these promotions, we not only maximize supervision, because right now we're down to two sergeants out of 5. So this will maximize supervision and accountability, and even though with the hiring officer, Leslie, we'll still be down 3 officers, but bringing these guys into patrol on the days that we're short, that, they'll understand that they'll have to supplement patrol at the same time as being supervisors, because, unfortunately, even though we hired 1, we're still down 3. So there will be some days and nights when they'll have to assume patrol responsibilities, but we've discussed that and they understand that, and that's the way it's been. That'll allow for transition of duties. We have a very young and inexperienced patrol force right now, so we need, we need the supervisors to be there to supervise, but also to mentor all the new officers that we have. Summer's coming, it's going to be busy. The new bid and shift selection starts the end of June, so I'd like to get these guys on board,
So, Chief,
supervisors on board with them, and the new hire, we should be in pretty good shape.
Who do you have
to move forward.
that are available as sergeants right now? Like, obviously, you're no longer available as a
Right, so it's
sergeant.
just Sergeant A.J. Capiello, and he's on midnights currently, and Sergeant Thomas, who's overseeing ISU and the Detective Bureau, so there's really nobody.
Do we have a sergeant that's doing the IT also?
That's
Yes.
Ed.
He's doing
too.
that also?
He currently is, yes. So that's why it's so imperative that we try to move forward with it and get it done. In May, the sergeant candidates completed all phases of the testing process. It was administered by, impartially by the South Central Criminal Justice Administration, and it consisted of 3 phases: the written phase, the oral examination phase, and then performance evaluations. And the candidates scored as indicated in the results that you received in your packets. All 3 of these guys are vetted officers. They've all performed special assignments. They've never been a disciplinary problem. And it's my recommendation that we promote all 3 tonight in the order that they scored during the testings, during the testing process. 1, 2, and 3. They're here. It's Officer RJ. This isn't the order that they tested, but the way they're seen is Officer RJ Scott, Officer Mike Bloom, and Officer Rich Mizzouti.
Have you discussed this with Chairman Burke since he isn't here tonight?
Yes,
You have.
yes. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah.
Before we do that.
I think what we'd like to do is probably go into executive session, discuss this at the end in executive session.
Yes.
No, I'm not discounting what you're saying, and
No,
it
that's fine.
doesn't mean that we're for or against it. It just means that we'd like to, I was just,
It's news to us.
right, it's just kind of news to some of us.
Okay, so we'll
Okay.
hold it over until
Just till the end of the evening.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right?
okay, so we'll continue it.
And we can actually go into executive session now if you
Oh, here's another personnel.
Yeah,
want to finish personnel and then go after
Yeah.
personnel.
Let's, finish up the main
That's fine.
part. We'll stay in order.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, we'll
Right.
just stay in order.
So new recruit testing?
The new recruit testing, as I mentioned before, so now we still have 3 vacancies in patrol, and I'd like to make arrangements that South Central Criminal Justice Administration will be starting up their testing process again this summer, so I urge us to get involved with that.
They had a test in March, didn't they?
They did have a test in March, and I looked into that, and there is an active list that's out there now. Some of the other towns have started utilizing that list. From what I was told, you had to sign up for a police app pertaining to that list, and at the time, 2 months ago, because of hiring constraints, that wasn't done. But it still is an option. I checked.
Hiring constraints, who said they were hiring? Did town hall say you couldn't hire someone?
That's what I was told by the deputy chief. He wanted to go forward with it, but at the time, he was told to hold off on it. It's the information that was passed to me.
To the finance? Was that deemed by the finance? Or, I think that was, somebody was misinformed.
Yeah. I can just tell you what I know.
I understand, and I know you're coming into it your
Yeah.
first night, so I understand.
Yeah. But I did check into the option of that, if we want to look at someone on this
Right.
list. It's still a possibility. I checked with South Central to ask them, so we may not
Because
have
if you're down
to
three, if you're down
Right.
3 officers, and you're looking to form your, new team,
Right.
I would think that you probably might want to look into some of the people that are on that list, and see if there's anybody that
Right.
you might think meets the qualifications of a Woodbridge police officer.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you, and I did, like I was saying, I checked in with South Central about that, to see if it's still a possibility, even though we didn't jump on the app option 2 months ago. And they said that we could, as long as we're willing to, have the funding to fill the vacancies, and we're willing and want to hire to, commit to hiring someone. And what they would have to do, they would petition the area chiefs that are already participating in the app, and just see if they would include us. And I know in the past that's happened, and that
Right.
they have included us, so we're
I
kind
think-
of
I
jumping
think-
on board then after the
I
fact.
think that's something you might want to consider doing as soon as tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
If you're down 3 officers and there's an issue of,
We would need a motion to be able to proceed though, just so you understand.
so I'll make a motion to proceed to try to be attached to the March testing of South Central to begin vetting the list of potential candidates for the Woodbridge Police Department.
Second.
All in favor? Just anything else in personnel matters?
No, that was all for percent.
So do I have a motion to approve the, oh, that's right, we don't, right, at this point. Okay, so, I think we'll go into executive session. And, I think we'll just have, Mr. Esposito and, Chief, join us.
So moved.